He was just 19 years old, the youngest member of the 1988 United States Olympic boxing team. Roy arrived in Seoul wanting and expecting to go all the way. The years of training with his father had given him the kind of preparation few fighters could match.
He was there on a mission. The only thing he was concentrating on is winning the gold medal.
An Olympic gold medal was a childhood holy grail for him. It was something that he had been coached to do. It was his birthright.
He blazed his way through the early fights, never losing even a round as his friends and family watched from home in Pensacola.
We had signs all over town, and we knew that he would go there and win gold medal.
It was all a big hoopla, so I think I realized that, this was something major here.
Roy's dad was there with him in South Korea and watched from the stands as Roy entered the ring for the gold medal round.
Roy Jones, the 19-year-old from Pensacola, Florida.
He was facing a local hero, a South Korean fighter named Park Si-hun.
Jones building up points, peppering him with multiple punches. There's one.
He was counting the guy. He was frustrating the guy, moving around the ring. When he turned him, he would catch him with good shots.
Park Si-hun is taking a thrashing.
Just hurt him with a lot of hooks.
And should be 15 seconds away from the gold.
He was in the zone.
It is all over. Roy Jones.
Everybody was saying, well, we got another goal.
I look in my corner, I see the people. They had a council table where they look at the scorecards first, and the Koreans start jumping up and down. The referee's like, I can't believe they're doing this to you. And he said it under his breath because he's not supposed to really be talking.
Although Roy outscored his opponent in every round, the judges gave the fight to Park Si-hun on a vote of 3-2.
And that is very difficult to figure.
When it happened, it was kind of a shocker, you know what I mean? Really, I was kind of dismayed. Like, I was without thought, you know what I mean?
Even the winner seemed astonished by the decision.
The Korean knew he had lost the fight. He didn't want to raise his hand when they actually made the decision. But then he picked Roy up, and Roy, was, just put me down.
I had a translator to ask the guy right off, do you think he wanted to fight? She asked him. He said, no, I didn't know.
I think this is the greatest robbery I've seen since a great train robbery.
There have been thousands of horrible decisions in amateur boxing, but given the circumstances, the nature of the exposure, the fighter who was involved, the way the boxing competition had gone at those Olympics, it was the worst decision in the history of amateur boxing.
Roy left the ring covering his face with a towel to hide his tears.
He didn't want to see him cry. He was too much of a tough guy for that. So when he put that towel over his face, it was just really crushing.
Everything I had sacrificed and worked so hard for, I missed a lot of stuff to get to that point. And it's like when you get to that point, they still rob you. You know what I mean? It was like, that was a very crushing blow to me. That was like the worst day of my life so far.
Fans were outraged by the obvious injustice of the decision. As consolation, Roy was named the outstanding boxer of the Olympic Games. In an impressive display of goodwill, 50 Korean monks arrived to personally express their shame and sorrow.
And they would come up and just tell me that they were so sorry what had happened to me, what their country did to me.
An investigation later found the 3 judges who voted against Roy had been wined and dined by Korean officials. 2 were banned from judging for life. But even if the world agreed that Roy had won the fight, the record books would always show that he had been second best. He considered giving up the sport he'd loved all his life.
I don't know if I'll box again ever.
He said he would never box again. And I thought his whole world came down. So it's like my whole world came down.
Roy grieved, and the father who had pushed him so hard to be a winner, this time consoled him in his devastating loss.
It was different than any other time. He used to try to tell me, not to stop crying. Like, don't worry about it. You got more heart than 90% of the people that you ever seen in your life, so don't worry about it.
It really disturbed me, I knew it. And it even made me more mad for him, I was really disappointed, and I was hurt for him,
It was a rare moment of tenderness between this hard-driven father and son. it would be among their last for many years to come. Up next, a big